Hey, Alex, you want to introduce this one?
Sure. Welcome back to Brewing the Saluki and Joe.
I'm
your host, Alex.
You're doing great.
I was trying to come up with like a fake name on the spot, and then I just didn't want to do it. And so I'm your host, Alex.
What a throwback.
Give me a moment's peace and take out the trash.
We pay taxes for people to come and take the garbage.
Hey, listen, Greenie, no more sneaking rides to the junkyard. Yeah, man, take a taxi when you want to go to the junkyard.
Unfortunately, that show that was just the three of us rambling is not what we're recording today. We're recording Hot Trash Unlimited, the show where me, Caleb,
and me, Joe,
go to the theaters with our special guest,
Alex.
And we watch movies or play Among Us on our phones.
Or check your email 4 times like I did. Oh yeah, that was another thing you missed when you left the theater. I pulled out my phone and I checked my email and I was like, nothing's happened. This is the 4th time I've looked at this. I don't even look at my email.
Joe, what did we tolerate today?
Tolerate is like a strong word. We endured Infidel.
We survived Infidel. Yes.
Come on in.
These are good people. I've known Mr. Lucini for some time now.
Have you ever seen him exhibit extremist behaviors or attitudes?
What?
The man's Muslim, so you enter his house without a warrant. Islamophobia.
Come with me. He's running a terrorist nerve center or recruitment website. Or am I just an Islamophobe?
We contributed to Infidel.
I mean, we didn't pay any money for it.
It still makes a buck off of us.
Yeah, but that's not us.
I paid $0 for this.
So did I.
We didn't even have to pay the $1 for the recliner.
The recliner made the experience better or like worse in the sense that we would have paid even less attention to the movie because we would have been reclined.
I would have probably fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Alex, you're the only person who sat through this movie completely.
I did. I watched every scene of this bad boy.
Joe took a call, and I went and snuck into the
Empire
next
Strikes
theater
Back.
over. Yeah, so I could be reminded what real movies are like. So can you give us a brief synopsis on what this movie's about?
It starts out all like, what am I? An Islamophobe? And then the Muslim guy kills his daughter. Although it's very unclear, and then they
Straight up say it.
Yeah, they straight up say it in a line of dialogue. And then
Wait, you mean he whacked his own daughter?
in the middle courtroom too. Wait, you whacked your own daughter? Such a goofy line and such a tense. I'm doing air quotes right there.
Yeah, this is an audio medium.
I'm narrating my own dialogue.
I felt more tension when you said that word than I did throughout the entirety of Infidel.
Oh, I felt a lot of tension watching this, not between the characters, but between me and this movie. What happened? What?
Well, I was just going to say, the basic gist is there's a good Christian, and then there are the bad Muslims.
They
and
don't
like
you
the
to know
government
that the
either.
Muslims are bad.
And that's the story.
It is.
So the movie opens up with our good Passion of the Christ about to get gunned down by a firing squad. And then right before it happens, that freeze frames, and it's like, yep, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
And it is the guy who played Jesus from Passion of the Christ. I don't care enough to look up his names. He's way too invested in these anti-Muslim movies for me to like dignify saying his name out loud. So yeah, Jesus was in this movie.
Now, Caleb, that's not
Christian
Passion
brand.
of the Christ is an anti-Jew movie.
That's
He's
true.
really nailing all enemies of
true.
Christianity.
It's Christian brand Chris Evans is what we'll call him. He gets captured for some reason, and they keep him alive for some reason. And
Well, the reason is at least like...
oh yeah, he preached
was
on
preaching.
TV
He
and
preached
on
on
Cairo
TV.
for some reason.
And might I just add... He was so awful in that preaching too.
Oh yeah, he's
not even like the performance. I mean, like
No, the
literally,
performance
he
was.
did like the character did such a bad job at trying to like be like, yeah, you know, Jesus is God, and then everyone in the scene is just like, oh. Why did he say that?
I mean, he's reading like the cue card above that. He's like dead-eyed staring off, and you see his eyes just like tilt slightly.
It's just so lazily off center of the camera.
Yeah.
So he's a software developer. That's his job, but he's also a blogger. He's a Christian blogger.
He's a software developer? When did we get that?
At the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then...
So he's not that great of a blogger.
No. But he is, because every single character in this movie is like, I've read your blog. I've been reading your blog. And so he gets invited to go on this TV show in Cairo for some reason. Like they just
a week after
pick this WordPress
a week after
savant.
they try to get his friend, or like his friend gets
arrested,
investigated for killing his daughter.
Yeah. I just love this idea that having a Christian on your show and then they say Jesus is God. Like no one in Egypt has ever heard this before. No one in the entire Muslim world. Like, what? This is what the Christians believe? How bonkers is this?
Also, it comes literally right after the guy is talking about how Muslims view Jesus and how he's this like miracle of a prophet.
Yeah.
And then it's just like he says that he's God and everyone's like, what are you saying? You mean to tell me this miracle is God?
This is produced by a Indian man, I believe, probably Indian American, who has
We've done our research.
Yes. Well, I mean, what else was I going to do during this movie?
We did our research in the theater.
So he's behind such great films as Hillary Clinton, or Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party, and what is it? Like A Nation Divided or Death of a Nation, some movie that compares Trump to Lincoln is like, we're in the second Civil War now. So I think we understand where he's coming from politically. Let's look at our director. He's a guy who was born in Colorado. He is from an Iranian family though. And his passion projects are movies where Americans go over to Middle Eastern countries and they learn that these Muslim people, they're kind of bad. His one before this, which starred Jesus from Passion of this Christ, was about...
Passion of this Christ.
Yeah, was about an honor killing. And this one is about honor killings and capturing people. And just like, what else was this movie about?
There was a really boring court scene. Usually like court scenes. This one wasn't fun.
How dare you? You whacked your daughter.
In the middle of you whacked your daughter.
It's such a tense thing.
And so I think we can safely say that these people are the perfect people to be talking about Christian-Muslim relations. And I think they should be rewarded. They did a great job. They were very brave. In this cancel culture America, in this society, they really took a swing and a hit.
Was it a hit?
I mean, it was number 2 in the box office.
That's true. It did make over $1 million. I
think it was more of a foul ball.
What all did we do during this movie instead of watching it?
So,
instead of checking my email.
So first 10 minutes, I think we're all in because that's where probably some of the funniest lines are delivered.
Yeah.
First 10 minutes were really fun.
Like everybody's kind of mumbling their way through things and you can't understand what's going on. But then the shots are insane.
The shots straight up hurt.
There's this weird like car thing where they flip through the lights and they're on the license plate and then it's a Dutch angle of them driving. And then there's this weird dance scene. Someone's just like running in a circle around inside these people.
Everyone's clapping.
Circled around them.
Yeah.
Everyone's clapping offbeat.
Very offbeat.
So they're offbeat to the first song, but they're like on beat enough to where like they're offbeat to the actual beat, but they're in the same like BPM of the song. Yeah. Then it switches to like some rock song with guitar. They're still clapping
to the beat of the first song.
So it's horribly offbeat.
This is such a train wreck of a movie.
And then the Jesus's friend doesn't like that his daughter is interested in this white guy with tattoos. So apparently he kills her. And they go to this house and the lawyer's like, you don't have a right to be in here. Islamophobia. Like she just screams that multiple times.
She just says it.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't say this is Islamophobic or you're Islamophobic. She says Islamophobia.
She shouts the buzzword.
It's like, guys, what's the deal with these Islamophobic cops?
What is Jerry Seinfeld narrating this movie?
So you know that scene in Watchmen, the TV show, where she's going through Judge's closet and there's the KKK outfit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that, but it's just a bunch of
very incriminating photos.
Yeah, very incriminating photos in this guy's room, and the detective's like, "Is this Islamophobic now?"
It's like, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, none of us are sleeper cell agents for any shady government.
That is until my trigger word happens.
Coconut. Kill JFK. Kill JFK.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys. But I just assume that sleeper agents are smart enough not to plaster pictures of AK-47s and them holding
Them
bazookas
with an RPG.
and like Sharia law up and down their walls. Especially because this guy has a hidden room.
Yeah.
In this room, why doesn't he put, if he wants to fanboy out for Al Qaeda, why doesn't he put it all in there?
Behind the tapestry on the wall?
Oh, it's so
Do you
ridiculous.
guys think that his daughter's dead body was just still in the other room?
Probably.
And they were just like, nothing to see here.
It's
and then they go to the Middle East, and the movie gets so much more boring.
Yeah, because
it slows down to a snail's pace. Caleb started playing Among Us. I took a call from my girlfriend midway through.
Alex was checking email. I opened Netflix to see if anything I wanted to watch, but then I realized I didn't have my AirPods.
And granted, okay, we were all checked out of this movie. We are the only people in the theater. I want to clarify.
I would have felt so bad.
If anyone willingly went to see this without the express intent of making fun of it, they deserve whatever we were doing in that back row.
You know there's a lot of people that do this.
This movie did make $1.5 million.
Absolutely. And those people are terrible people. I mean, I'm very politically frustrated at the moment, guys. I thought I was going to rant about this movie. I'm not, because it's just, there's so much not there.
What was your chart of like interest? You did it earlier.
Oh, well, it peaked at the beginning because that was genuinely funny. And then it dipped down to disappointment because I'm like, oh, they're not going to keep the momentum up. Then it kind of hit a neutral. Then it just slowly dipped into apathy. Alex, you were probably the one who enjoyed this movie the most.
We almost left, but Alex said, I want to stay.
I never said that.
You said
I will say
you said I'm
to
invested
you
enough.
again what we talked about in the car earlier about what we said in the theater. We both wanted to see the resolution of the firing squad, which we did, and then no one said anything after that. So don't put that on me. We could have left. I just didn't take us out of there. Yes, I did probably enjoy it the most. In the sense that, like, if you came across an actual dumpster fire in real life, you would look at it and be like, whoa, that's an actual dumpster fire right there.
And you'd see a copy of Infidel in the fire. You'd see the reels on it.
No, but I mean, like, it was just one of those things. It's like, I can't really believe that I'm actually seeing this right now. And it made it thoroughly entertaining. Keep in mind, that's not an endorsement of this movie.
Let's get it out of the way right now. It's not hot trash. It's bad.
It's basically a Fox News segment. Like, this is what Christians...
I don't know. They make one of the terrorists kind of likable.
It never makes a case for Christianity. It's just like, man, those Muslims are bad. Making Christianity not look so bad, are we? No, you aren't, because you're not making a case for it. I could not tell you what denomination this person is, what's his theology. All I know is that he writes a WordPress blog. And that
Before we go further, sorry, finish your thought. I have something I need to say before we end.
I was just saying, I don't think I have a WordPress blog. I really hope that I don't become like the central part of a political crisis.
Speaking of the WordPress blog and how he gets out of the sticky situation, the empty flash drive that can decode if you type something while it's plugged in, delete it, and then type something over it. What is that? What is the logic behind that? They were explaining it, and I was just like, no.
Boomers don't know how to use technology.
It didn't make any sense at all.
No, yeah, it was so stupid.
Like, technology.
I love the clear flash drive, though.
Technology I can look past for the most part, like where it's like, oh, I'm a hacker or whatever. They tried to rationalize this, and it just didn't make sense.
Okay, I did make a disparaging comment about boomers, because I do think that's the target demographic of this movie. But also on the way over, I found out that someone who's not too much older than me thinks that you get cancer from Wi-Fi routers. So, like,
don't you dare bring my sister into this.
Do you want me to cut that out?
No, keep talking about it. I just wanted to interject that, but honestly, go for it.
That's what I figured, but I wanted to make sure.
Look, she said some dumb shit the other day. She will never hear this, and she deserves to be made fun of, so go ahead.
But I just, like, it is hilariously stupid. So is everything in this movie. These people don't understand religion, technology, how guns work, apparently how to edit your film.
Or color grade.
Or sound.
Yeah, Tenet was mixed better than this, and that's saying something.
You know, what I was thinking early on when they were doing those, like, rotating shots, I'm like, man, I was too hard on the director of Current War.
So many things were just absolutely painful to look at. That whole scene in the shower when she's just having that flashback to the car.
Yeah, it was so
and
weird.
It's just the worst cut thing. Where it's just everything's bleeding in and out of the flashback.
What about the court scene where it's like slow-mo all of a sudden, but there's no frames at all?
Yeah, they're just doubling frames.
Yeah, but then they did have a top-down slow-mo
I was about to bring that up. I loved that so much.
So this isn't a Christian movie made within, like, the world of indie Christian movies, because it's made by, you know, these people who have mainly come from, like, political propaganda movies, and it's an R-rated movie, which almost never happens with Christian, but it's clearly pandering to a Christian audience. How do you think it relates to movies like, because obviously I still believe is better than this, but like God's Not Dead's, how do you think it relates to those?
I mean, it's not as offensive as those movies, I feel like. This one's more just like, doesn't understand anything. It has some of those moments where it's like, man, they're getting into that territory.
I was about to say, it gets pretty offensive at times.
I think it focuses in on its offensiveness in a way that God's Not Dead doesn't. Because God's Not Dead is going for everyone. This is just going for one group of people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's better or worse.
I think it's kind of worse. But
like, who do you want to offend? Everyone on Earth, or just one group but really offend them?
Like, let's be clear, God's Not Dead is one of your, like, most hated movies.
Yeah.
This is just apathy. I think that's, like, where the line is.
Did you wind up apathetic, though? Because you said that was a part of your scale.
It was the end.
But, like, it was the end.
Oh, yeah, it was a slow descent. My emotion chart...
Because you were in physical pain for a lot of that movie.
We turned over. Me and Alex started laughing at something, and we turned over, and Caleb was just dead. Like,
he had his arms crossed, and he was all slumped into himself.
My emotion chart, much like this movie, has an anticlimax. But I'll also say this is not the most painful movie I've watched this year. I would give that honor to Birds of Prey. But you know what I can say? Birds of Prey made me feel something. There is potential there. There's some good stuff there, right? Like, comparing this to any movie that I've watched this year is like, well, yeah, that's like saying, like, drawing a stick figure and then showing me like one of those bodies that they have in anatomy class where you can take the things off, and it's like, which of these is better? I'm like, obviously this thing. Like, this should not count as a movie.
That is such a specific analogy.
So you compared it to Dumpster Fire. You know what's in
Yes.
Dumpster Fires? Hot trash. Would you say this is hot trash?
Oh, that is literally hot trash. In the way that I just said it with the dumpster fire, yes, but no. It's just bad.
This is a movie that got, like, they threw into a garbage truck. While the garbage truck's going down the interstate, it flies out the back and it becomes litter on the highway, which just is even more detrimental to the world. So yeah, that's what this movie is.
Yeah, this will decompose in, you know, X amount of years.
Yeah.
And, like, its impact won't be like individual impact won't be catastrophic on the planet, but it's certainly part of a much larger whole. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm not sure I consider this even a movie. I
mean, it's definitely a feature film length.
This is the biggest waste of time I've ever spent in a theater. And I've watched some really bad movies.
It's Black Christmas, man.
Carol Elways was in Black Christmas. At least he got a paycheck.
That's true.
The only enjoyment I got out of this...
It's apparently none.
Yep.
All right.